Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be at time zone wise. Today, I wanted to talk about self-empowerment, what that looks like, and why we would want it in our life. A lot of people mistake self-empowerment for having control over others, control over their environment, having authority over others, whether it be at work, at home, just anything in their life. And they look at it as external. And self-empowerment is not external at all. Self-empowerment is something that we feel internally. It's when we have control of our own selves, our own emotions, including our thoughts. It's really a quiet power that sits within our gut. No matter somebody says something that's offensive, maybe something that in the past could have been very triggering to us and we would react emotionally, we no longer do those things. We no longer react. Sometimes we just don't respond at all because it doesn't need a response. Or sometimes we choose how we want to respond, but it's always in a way that we stay empowered. We don't give other people autonomy or control over our thoughts, our emotions, and how we react, ever. It doesn't matter the situation. You know, when trauma happens from abuse, that is true loss of self-empowerment. That's how PTSD happens. It's not that something negative or bad happened in your life. It's when you're not able to exert self-empowerment over your own body, your own thoughts, and your own feelings, meaning you can't escape. This is why so many children growing up in abusive households can experience PTSD because the authority figures in their life, whoever has control of them, has done something so horrible and so negative, and they can't escape. So they really, truly did experience a loss of self-empowerment. But as adults, in our normal everyday life, living in the corporate world, wherever we may be, maybe we are owning our own business, wherever we may be at, we do have autonomy over our lives. And we are able to have that self-empowerment and control over what we think and what we feel. And I know a lot of you that maybe haven't worked through a lot of your triggers yet, and maybe just on the beginning journey of your self-development, haven't quite experienced this, or maybe experienced it a little bit, but not to its fullest extent. Self-empowerment is a beautiful thing. It attracts people to you because you're your own person, and your energy and your emotions and your feelings, you get to choose, and you hold them within here. You don't ever exert them out into the public or upon another person. Even people who are overly kind and overly compassionate can be very toxic because they're pushing this out onto other people. And when you're holding it in and just being in that state of being, of compassion, of kindness, of being the leader of your own life, that makes you very attractive to other people. So no matter where you're at, you can have self-empowerment. How do you get there? It's a step-by-step process. You want to start at the bare bones. Do you have triggers? I will tell you right now, from somebody who did live with triggers most of her life, you need to neutralize those triggers. It doesn't mean that you change what happened to you in the past. It doesn't mean that those things didn't happen, but the triggers makes it continue to happen. So when you run into an event that is similar to maybe something that caused that trigger from you in the past, then you're triggered. And then all of a sudden, your emotions are not your own, your thoughts are not your own, and you're just reliving that experience again and again. One of the ways to get rid of triggers, which is great, it doesn't have to take a 6-month process. It's through NLP. It's through hypnotherapy. It's through maybe even EMDR. They have all these scientific proven techniques to abolish your triggers. You don't have to live with them, and you don't have to take months to get rid of them. It can be as easy as one session. It It just depends upon your trigger and it depends upon you. So that is one of the first steps. I'll tell you that you can really gain self-control is getting rid of those triggers. Second step, just start becoming more self-aware. What conversations do you not like in your life? What events are happening that you don't like in your life? Really become aware of your environment. Is your house a mess and you don't like it and you don't feel comfortable in it? Are you having trouble in relationships, maybe at work, but your relationships at home are fine, or maybe the relationships at home are not going so great? Just start taking note of that. This isn't about pushing blame. This is about owning it. And what does owning mean? That's another of those, what I call salad words that people don't really describe and explain to people. What does owning it mean? Taking responsibility. What does that mean? That could be triggering for some people. Like, you mean I have to take ownership over somebody talking bad and negative to me? No, not at all. What it means is that you're going to look inside and notice that there is some type of energy in you that's attracting that energy. And maybe there is some type of thought that you don't even realize, because maybe it was from childhood. It's running in your subconscious that is playing out that type of scenario in your life again and again. That's why people can jump from one corporation to the next corporation, or from one relationship to the next relationship, and still run into the same scenarios again and again, because there's an energy and there's a thought pattern that's keeping that in your life. You can see the magic happen when you start working with those energies. And again, I have to go back to say hypnotherapy, NLP, even EMDR absolutely work magic, and they work so quickly on this. They really do add a step up in coaching and even in your therapy programs. Absolutely just magic. Changed my life completely, because I also was running through those same scenarios again and again. By not changing who I was around, where I was working, I was able to completely change the dynamics. And what does that mean? While I was working in corporations, I was running through the same type of really toxic negative behavior. Now, it's not that the toxic negative behavior left the workplace, because we have those in corporations or other businesses. We run into that no matter what. But it was my response and me feeling self-empowered and holding strong and feeling safe in this world that completely changed that dynamic. So those same type of people stopped approaching me. It's not that they left the corporation. They just didn't want to mess with me anymore, because I wasn't playing the game. I was out, because I'm holding the self-empowerment inside me. And you can do this too. So without changing what's happening in your life, it's when you start changing who you are and bringing in a whole new state of being and embodying self-empowerment, where you feel safe in your own skin. You feel safe and you know you belong wherever you may be walking or standing in that spot. Then the toxic behavior seems to move away from you, start disappearing from you. This is called enlightenment, by the way. Or better yet, if you read the Bible, this is Revelation. This is the resurrection. It wasn't like we're looking for a man in the clouds coming down to come save us. No, the resurrection is really stages of enlightenment, because as you become self-empowered, as you become enlightened, then the old world starts disappearing. The people in the old world and those type of people start disappearing. That either can change with you or they can disappear, right? But you start lifting your energy and rising your energy. That's really enlightenment. That's really resurrection. So you don't have to go stand up on a mountain and meditate for 6 months to have enlightenment. Enlightenment most of the time comes in stages as you self-develop. And all of this self-development, self-empowerment, self-regulation, self-awareness, all of this really is emotional intelligence. With emotional intelligence and with self-empowerment, one of the things I could tell you that disappeared from your life is that you don't feel like to tell other people how to live their life. That's a beautiful place to be. There's no more should-haves, could-haves, not even towards yourself. It's total acceptance of every flaw, of every goof-up. Maybe you said something that was a little bit wrong. Okay, then so be it. It doesn't matter. That's not triggering. There's no hell and doomsfire that's going to come down upon your head. It's reimagining your life, not just reimagining. It's really about stepping into that state of being. So self-empowerment is a state of being. Wealth is a state of being. Values is a state of being. Your purpose is a state of being. It's who you become as a person, and then everything is attracted to you. If you want beautiful, kind, compassionate relationships, step into that state of being a kind and compassionate. Be that person. If you want a successful business, then be that person. As we become more self-aware, we become even stronger in our self-empowerment because we start becoming very aware of our thoughts, how we're thinking, what we're imagining. And then we stop ourselves like, wait a minute, that's not what I want to imagine. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't make me feel good. It's not looking for other people's opinions. It's not looking for any type of fulfillment outside of yourself because you will never find it there for two reasons. One, the majority of people are not fulfilled themselves, so they don't have anything to give you. They're there to take. Two, the people who are living very fulfilled lives, they're not around people who are not fulfilled. You're not going to find them. They're not in your energy field yet. If you want to be around others who are fulfilled, living a life of self-empowerment, then you got to be that. And then those people will appear. Again, this is like the resurrection, if you will, or enlightenment. Self-empowerment is a beautiful, strong feeling and state of being. It would allow me to get in front of this camera and start recording myself. Am I going to do it perfect? Nope. Am I going to look perfect? Absolutely not. But I enjoy what I do. And I enjoy being a coach. I love talking with people. I love being able to teach what I've learned and experienced to myself. What comes of it? I know that I'm successful. I already won in life. My own healing and my own self journey and where I'm at today, I already won. So I'm not trying to win anything. My state of being is success and I won. It's a beautiful place to be. So being able to get up here and to share with you all the secrets and tips, it's a beautiful experience. It brings joy to my life. I can't imagine doing anything else for the rest of my life. I guess you can call it a career, a new career for me. You can, but it's my life. It's my state of being. So maybe it's not necessarily a job and or a career. Maybe I have embodied being that coach, being kind, being compassionate, assisting others in their own healing, which means self-development. It just means that you're working your way to emotional intelligence. And wherever it takes you in your life is perfect because it doesn't have to look like anybody else. In fact, I can guarantee you it won't. Each and every one of us has our own astrology chart, our own unique thumbprint. So it's going to look a little bit different. There's lots of coaches out there, but there's no coach like me. There's a lot of accountants out there, but each accountant is very different. Each lawyer is very different. Each business owner is very different. So it's learning to love your own nature and being in that to share yourself with others, to uplift others, to be of service. I am one of those who've got to be of service. It's in my nature. It doesn't matter. Other people maybe don't want to be that, and that's perfect too. Not everybody has to be of service. That's not why they're here. Maybe other people are meant to be triathlons, be CEOs, be beautiful dancers, express themselves in whatever way they may. It doesn't matter. It's all beautiful as long as that you're in the flow of your own nature that you really enjoy and it's fulfilling. That's what matters. I know people who love to truck. They're truckers. They're very fulfilled. They love what they do and they give it their 150%. It doesn't matter. What matters, again, it's getting in with your own nature, into that flow, being there. It's not about being perfect. It's just about being you. and you're beautiful just the way that you are. Tomorrow, I want to dig a little bit more into values so that we understand where our values actually come from and how do we really tap into our own values and what does that look like. Have a beautiful day. Again, if there's a certain subject that you guys want to talk about, if you want me to get deeper into something, put your comment in there. What I do ask is that there's probably going to be some negative comments, and that's okay. Listen, a lot of those negative comments, don't respond or reply to them, please. I will delete them. I will remove them from the comment section. But have an understanding that a lot of these are not even people, they're robots. And then the ones that are people, they're really not listening. They have a certain amount of comments that they mass produce out to several different channels all at once. And what they are wanting is to get you to reply, and they want to trigger you. That's what they're there for. So I just ask you, don't reply. I promise you, I will look through them. These are really not for you. And they're not for me. They're just people out there doing their own game. Like maybe that's why they're here in this world, right? To test us, to help teach us to stay again in our own self-empowerment. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will talk about values and have a beautiful and blessed day.